You sit in the supervisor's chair. The surface of the North Sea is a violent, churning slate. But inside this control room, there is only the hum of the servers and the smell of stale coffee. 12 monitors display the absolute lightless void 300 meters below. You hold the lives of 6 men in your hand, connected by a 2-inch thick umbilical cord. You lean toward the microphone. You issue the command to pressurize. You do not feel the crushing weight of the ocean, but you feel the weight of the promises you made to keep them safe. You watch the telemetry data like a hawk. You fight for every single breath they take. You carry the responsibility of bringing them home in every command you give. Level 1, Deck Rigger. You are 19 years old. The freezing rain slices sideways across the steel deck. The air reeks of diesel exhaust and ozone. You make $15 an hour. Your job is to manually feed the heavy, rubber umbilical cord over the side. The ocean swell is massive, pitching the deck at a 15-degree angle. A sudden wave crashes over the stern, knocking a 1-ton steel winch off its block. It slides directly toward you. A veteran rigger tackles you to the wet deck, pushing you out of the way. The winch strikes him, trapping his lower body against the bulkhead. You do not run. You dive down, using your own body to shield him from the shifting metal, screaming into your comms for help until your voice cracks. The medic takes over. You stumble to the railing. You vomit violently into the gray waves. You stare at your hands, refusing to wash them off, unable to unclench your fists for a full hour. Level 2, Chamber Attendant. You are 22. You manage 2 divers completing their decompression in the surface chamber. The temperature is 40 degrees Celsius, and the air is thick with the smell of stale sweat and tin. You monitor the 100% oxygen masks. Suddenly, one diver rips his mask off. His eyes roll back. Oxygen toxicity. His heart monitor alarms flatline. A violent spasm thrashes his body against the steel bunks. You know his heart is about to stop. You dive onto the bunk, using your body to pin his flailing limbs. Your nose breaks in the struggle. You ignore the pain. You force the mask back over his face, holding it down with both hands as his jaw clamps. You get the seal. The heart monitor spikes back to life. He survives, but his career is over. When your shift ends, you stand under the cold shower. You let the freezing water hit your neck. Your hands do not stop shaking. Level 3, Bellman. You are 26. You are suspended inside the diving bell at a depth of 150 meters. Outside the thick acrylic viewport, there is absolute darkness. The internal pressure is 16 atmospheres. Your dive buddy is outside, working in the mud. Suddenly, the tension on the umbilical goes completely rigid. The diver's high-pitched helium voice screams through the comms. He is buried up to his waist in a collapsing subsea trench. Silt engulfs his view. You grab the umbilical with both hands. You brace your boots against the hatch and pull against the crushing suction of the seabed mud. The winch motor screams and blows a relay, showering you with sparks. You ignore the burns on your neck. You haul him in manually, inch by inch. Tearing a ligament in your own shoulder, you drag him into the bell lock. He is conscious, but his legs are immobile under the massive silt shift. During the 3-day decompression, you refuse to sleep. You sit by his bunk, constantly wiping your perfectly clean hands on your thighs. Level 4, Saturation Diver. You are 29. You live inside a pressurized steel tube for 28 days at a time. You are working on the seabed at 200 meters. The water temperature is 2 degrees Celsius. Without warning, a remotely operated vehicle, rove piloted by a contractor, severs your buddy. It's a hot water line. His core temperature drops to 34 degrees in 3 minutes. Hypothermia grips his body. He collapses into the freezing mud. You drop your $50,000 hydraulic wrench. You rush to him. You unhook your own hot water supply and plug it into his suit. The freezing ocean instantly hits your skin like 1,000 needles. Your muscles lock up. You grab his harness and start dragging him back toward the bell, fighting your own fading consciousness. You hit your emergency blow-up valve, inflating your suit to blast both of you upwards. You drag him through the bottom hatch before you pass out. You both survive. Weeks later, safe on land. Your breathing stops every time you hear the hissing sound of an air conditioning vent. Level 5, the 300M Master. You are 33. You dive to 300 meters. The ambient pressure is 31 atmospheres. You and your buddy are repairing a subsea pipeline. You hear a violent, thumping rush of water. Delta P, differential pressure. A massive leak creates a suction force of 3,000 psi, stronger than any biological force. Your dive buddy is pulled instantly. His arm is sucked shoulder, deep into the massive, dark crack. You rush to him. You pull his harness. but he is pinned by the physical physics of the deep ocean. You refuse to let go, digging your boots into the mud, pulling until your gloves tear. Your own oxygen drops to a critical level. Your buddy looks at your gauge. He looks at you. He unclips his own umbilical cord from your shared manifold, sacrificing his supply to save you from the vortex. He pushes you violently backward into the current. You scream his name as you are swept away toward the bell. You hit the hatch, pounding your fists against the window, staring into the dark until the recovery RAV arrives. Back on shore, you sit at the bar, ordering 2 glasses of neat whiskey. You drink one. You leave the second glass untouched, staring at it until the bar closes. Level 6. Lead diver. You are 37. You lead a team into the twisted wreckage of a collapsed oil jacket. Zero visibility. A massive steel I-beam shifts, trapping the junior diver by his harness against the mud. Hyperventilation begins. Over the comms, the dive supervisor reports a sudden, massive gale on the surface. The ship is drifting out of control. The bell must be recovered in 3 minutes, or the main cable will snap, killing everyone. The supervisor orders you back. You refuse the order. You wedge your own shoulder beneath the steel beam. Using your own suit is hydraulic pressure to take the weight off his chest. Your umbilical pulls dangerously tight. The supervisor activates the emergency recovery winch against your will. The immense mechanical force drags you backward by your tether, wrenching you away from the junior diver. You hold onto his hand until the immense pull wrenches your grasp away. In the dry chamber, you wake up clawing at your own throat in the dark, suffocating on air that isn't tea there, screaming for them to lower the winch back down. Level 7, Rove Pilot. You are 41. You pilot the heavy-duty remotely operated vehicle from the surface control room. You are the diver's guardian angel, providing vital light and mechanical strength in the abyss. 2 divers are working at 250 meters. A sudden, violent subsea current sweeps a massive abandoned anchor chain across the worksite. The chain pins Diver 1 against the wellhead structure. You fly the ROV in clamping its titanium hydraulic jaws onto the chain. You push the thrusters to maximum, trying to lift the immense weight off the man. System alarms scream as the ROV's motors begin to overheat and short circuit. You ignore the warnings, desperately overriding the safeties, fighting the ocean with the machine. Diver 1 looks directly into the ROV's 4K camera. He shakes his head. He knows if the ROV's power plant explodes, it will take out Diver 2 as well. Diver 1 reaches out and manually hits the emergency release switch on your robotic claw. The chain settles. You shatter the control joystick in your grip, screaming at the monitors as his telemetry fades. You keep the broken piece of the joystick in your pocket. Whenever the room gets quiet, your thumb presses hard into its broken plastic edge. Level 8, Dive Supervisor. You are 46. You are the god of the dive. You sit in the center console. The ship's dynamic positioning system experiences a catastrophic runoff. Under full thrust, the 10,000-ton vessel surges forward, dragging the diving bell violently across the seabed. The main umbilical is stretched beyond its structural limit. The captain orders you to cut the divers loose before the bell itself breaks. You shove the captain away. You take manual control of the ROV, flying it blindly through the mudstorm, desperately trying to unhook the snagged lines. You clear Diver 1. Diver 2 is hopelessly tangled in a 50-ton manifold. He radios up, his voice steady. "Cut it, boss. Don't lose the bell." You refuse. Tears stream down your face. You push the ROV thrusters to 110%, trying to ram the steel manifold, willing the machine to succeed. The drift ship's immense physics finally snap the umbilical cord. The line goes dead. You immediately deploy the emergency backup pod, standing over the sonar screen for 72 straight hours, refusing to sleep, launching every asset available to scan the sea floor. Deep inside your pocket, your fingers trace the outline of 2 metal dog tags. The cycle, the unforgiving wild. The shift ends. You step out onto the freezing, salt-sprayed deck. A new crew steps off the transport helicopter. A young man, barely 18, drops his duffel bag. He is wearing brand new work boots. He looks out at the monstrous, black expanse of the North Sea, his eyes wide with adrenaline and the naive thrill of extreme adventure. He thinks he is about to test his courage against nature. You look at him, and your heart aches with a heavy, profound sorrow. You know that the deep does not test courage. It tests how much grief a man can carry and still breathe. You walk over to the boy. You put a firm hand on his shoulder, steadying him against the rolling deck. You don't say a word. You turn your back to the ocean and walk toward the mess hall, carrying the weight of the abyss for all of them.